it's me. The whirly thing's going round on Facebook, so I presume I'm nearly there. So hello, it's 9 of my countdown to my first year sober. So tonight I'm going to just talk quickly because this is quite a, I have to say, thinking about these things brings up quite a bit because Sundays, loneliness. Now I know that you can be lonely in relationships, you can be lonely in a big crowd of people. The loneliness that I'm talking about today is when I was drinking and when I was a single parent and Sundays. Sundays were a particularly hard day because um, I had a lot of my friends were in relationships, so Sundays was family days. If my son was with his dad, then I might be working or I'd have the weekend off, so that means I'd be out drinking and partying. So there's this like feeling of Sundays of never quite fitting in and just feeling extremely lonely and then drinking and then feeling more lonely and just thinking the whole world was in a relationship. I think that was one of the biggest things that I struggled with was this feeling that I needed to be in a relationship, which caused me to feel unbelievably lonely because I was searching for something that I wasn't finding. I will go into relationships a bit more because, but not today. Today's more about when you're on your own and drinking and feeling shit about yourself because you feel alone. You're stuck in the house, especially if you've got a kid. I mean, you don't realise what it's like. I mean, when I first moved to Brighton, I lived in a house at the bottom of Whitehawk Road, didn't have a landline, didn't have mobile phones then, no internet, and I was 27 with a 2-year-old child. I didn't know anyone in Brighton. So, yeah, and it gets into a little habit. And when you're working in pubs, that's when it all really happened for me. Then the drinking sort of becomes part and parcel of it. And then when you drink at home alone, because you think you go to the park with your kids and then you just see all these other people, presumably you just think everyone's in couples and happily in relationships. But in your own head, because you drink and because you get upset and I just, yeah, I was just permanently just missing out on relationships. And from that, I was never able to hold down a relationship because most of I met my partners in pubs because that's where I worked. So yeah, it's been so Sundays can be, and I know it is challenging for people when they're on their own, and it is easy to I'll just have a glass of wine, just have another glass of wine, but then that's when the thoughts come, and that's when, for me, the drinking got worse because then I just feel even more shit about myself that I got drunk again or was feeling all maudlin or so today has been the sad bits of loneliness and drinking alone. Do you know what I mean? I used to drink alone a lot. I had my lonely drinking, my really lonely drinking was in the bath. I used to drink cans of lager in the bath and cry because there's no windows in the bathroom and I could shut the door and no one could hear me. And I just thought, that's how I felt sometimes, just that lonely, that's what I thought my existence would always be, just drinking and existing and feeling lonely. So, I'm not saying that I got sober and, well, hey, I just don't feel lonely anymore. Well, that's a load of bollocks because now I'm sober. I don't go out as much because most people go out drinking because that was my old life. So I'm dealing with loneliness in a different way now. But I deal with loneliness so much better. Do you know what I mean? I do get lonely. Sundays I find hard. I'm single. I don't have a partner. I don't do Sunday coupley things. So, but yeah, it's lonely, but without the alcohol, anxiety, the feeling shit, the shame, the guilt, all the other things that go with it. So, if you do feel lonely and you do find yourself drinking, try and reach out, try and find things going on a Sunday, because I know even if you're in relationships, you can feel lonely, and yeah. So yeah, it is. It's been a. I found it quite hard thinking about it. I used to feel so lonely. Like I could hear people. I just think that everyone else was just happy in the world, and I was just this sad, miserable person. That yeah. But that's over. Thank goodness for that. All I can say is, I must admit, it is hard. I do. I've got my PMD at the moment, so I'm living in my altered reality, so it does make me a bit prone to sort of dwell on things. But I meditate, I do my shit that needs to be done, I do the work, I've sorted out my past, I've dealt with my demons, and I'm, a few days off being a year sober. So good has come out of it. But I just want people to know that there is life after drinking. You don't have to drink. You can make choices. It doesn't have to be something that you do all the time. That is why I'm talking about it so openly. Because it needs to be spoken about. Because in this society, alcohol, it's called alcohol. It's a drug. This is the bit that, when I finally I worked in homeless hostels. I knew all about drugs and stuff, but I just was addicted to alcohol because it's a drug, and it had me. And I know it has a lot of other people, and I know from the comments, from the messages I've been getting off I've had quite a lot. I'm not alone. I wasn't alone. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just encourage conversation around drinking, around to be able to say, actually, I don't want to drink tonight. Can we do something else? Let's go and do a pottery thing. Does it have to involve? It just does every night out have to involve alcohol. Hence why I'm setting up the Sober Artists Club, to create an alternative to the norm of going out. So yes, so this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's all to promote the Sober Artists Club, to show that there is life after alcohol. You don't, I'm not saying that, oh, you've got to stop drinking, you're all shit, you shouldn't drink. No, that's not what I'm saying. This is my personal journey. All I'm doing is saying that there are choices, and I'm here to prove that, and that you can have a life after lager or wine or whatever your tipple is. So yeah, and we have to deal with all our emotions, and alcohol will numb them. When you get sober, it's not easy. Don't think it's all like roses and everything's fine and the whole world. No, you enter a completely different world, and you have to be brave, very brave, to fight against the system of drinking. So yeah, I'm just going to be really vocal about this, because I think we are allowed to have choices. I mean, there's enough adverts on television saying to people to drink their wine and to buy their wine and to drink wine. And anyway, so I'm going to talk about being sober. So yeah, so today was lonely. Sunday, lonely drinking, and what I used to do on a Sunday. It's funny because I used to drink. I'm going to show you. I drink. This is if I'm a bit stressed and I want to sort of feel like I'm having a beer without having a beer, I buy myself one of these. Because I used to drink these in beer, and they're big, and I could probably, what time are we on now? 7 o'clock. So I would have probably necked a few pints in the pub because it's Sunday, and then I probably would have had 3 of these. So I probably would have drunk probably by now 6 or 7 pints. Yeah, see what I mean? I did have a bit of an issue. So yeah, so this is what it is. It's promoting the Sober Artists Club, to giving you an alternative to choices around alcohol. And why I'm doing this countdown is because I'm so fucking proud of myself for getting sober. Hello. And it's not easy. This is it. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, getting sober is really easy. No, it bollocking isn't. Because you have to work on the issues that why you drank in the first place. Because there's a reason. There was a reason why I drank. I know what that is, and I've been dealing with it, and I know how to. But unless you sort of step back from it and think, whoa, and sit with some real uncomfortable stuff, it's not easy. But I tell you what, it is so worth it. So worth it. Everyone tells me I look so much better, I feel so happy, I feel alive. I do. I feel alive. My creativity is on another fucking level. I mean, oh, I've got me evangelistic, more creativity. Woo! I'm going to show you that. I'll show you what I was doing today just before I came on. You see, I'm just like feeling the creative, And this is because I'm not drinking. Because if I'd been my normal lonely Sunday drinking, I would have drunk too much beer. I wouldn't have been able to do my work today. I wouldn't have been able to talk to you, and I would just not be doing what I'm doing. So. Yeah, I'm just saying to people, you have choices around drinking. You don't have to be like everyone else. I quite like being different. It suits me. So yeah, if you ever want to talk to me about anything or ask me any questions, I'm not, I didn't follow AA. I know other people do. That's perfect. Whatever route you take, the main goal or challenge that we all face is that we want to stop drinking alcohol. And that's what it is. Mine is going to be through my way of, that I stayed sober was through, and just wave at a few people, was through my creativity and my sketchbooks, and that's what did it for me. So yeah, I'm just going to come on and try and just tell you that there is life after alcohol. So okay then, well that's me waffling, and I will go before I just go off on one of me. I can feel myself going off on one of my tangents. Ooh, I have to do it when my PMDD's bad, like my head's going, right, just don't do it. So, yeah, so I don't want you to think anyway, I'm off. Toodaloo.